Okay, so I'm going to go back to November 22nd.
So again, you can assign yourself to be Toastmaster, right?
You can,
Okay.
if the role is open.
You're right, exactly.
I couldn't go to tomorrow's meeting, which that Toastmaster role is taken, and grab it. I couldn't take it away from somebody else.
Yeah, I understand.
But if I go far enough in the future, okay, this Toastmaster role is open. I haven't been Toastmaster a while. I want to grab this. Now, I haven't touched it yet. I want you to notice these 4 little buttons up here. The email, the printer, the report, this thing that says, what does it say? Multi-sheet sign up. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to go down and sign myself up as Toastmaster. Okay, I'm Toastmaster, and I'm going to hit my refresh button, which is going to refresh my screen. Oh, look, another button has shown up. Because I'm Toastmaster, I can now edit this agenda. The other people who have that edit button are the Vice President of Education and the Webmaster. They also can edit the agenda. Now, so now that I can edit the agenda, I can do things like I could go in here, and let's say that I knew that Doug wanted to speak. So I could go down to speaker 1, and I could give it to Doug. And I could go down to speaker 2, and I can give it to Karen. Now, I would not do this if I hadn't already talked to you. The VPE, the Vice President of Education, has a perfect right to go in and assign you roles. That's part of their job. As a Toastmaster, I don't have that right. So unless I talk to you, I'm not going to be dropping your name into an agenda. But I can. Now let's say, so I drop Doug's name in as speaker 1. By the way, nothing is permanent until I click save. So I'm going to click save. And we come out here, and there's me as Toastmaster. We're still in the edit mode. We're still in edit mode here. Doug's speech is too long. Doug's speech is 10 minutes. I need to make that 5 to 7. So I clicked edit. It drops me down here. I'm going to say this is a 5 to 7 minute speech. I always actually give it an extra. If it's 5 to 7 minutes, I make it 8, because that way you can handle it. It includes the intro and any dead time and that minute we're giving people feedback and so forth. So Doug's speech is now 8, and Karen's speech should probably be 8 too. And I saved that. So Karen is 8, and we don't have speaker number 3 yet. Now, suppose we don't have speaker number 3. I could go over here and I could click this garbage can, and speaker number 3 would go away. Now we've removed speaker number 3, and I should probably go down and remove evaluator number 3. I'm not gonna remove it. I could also do something like, hey, speaker number 3 wants a delay between speaker 2 and speaker 3 for some reason. Setting up prompts, whatever. So let's do table topics. So I can click here and move table topics up. I'm going to click it. I'm going to send it. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to send table topics back down. Okay, there we go. The other thing you can edit, so you can make edits to this agenda part. That's the agenda here. You can also make edits to the meeting description. What I like to do, I wouldn't edit the mission. I wouldn't change that. What I like to do is I like to put in a theme. And I always center it. And I like to make it big and bold, italics, and a different color.
And underline it.
And underline it. Yeah, I want people to see my theme.
And put a footnote there.
Yeah. And I click save. And now if I get out of here, this agenda is going to refresh. Becoming Unstoppable with Kyle as the Toastmaster, Douglas Woodall as speaker 2, and Karen Tyson as speaker 3, and so forth. And of course, I can print. I could go in here and print. And I can print those speaker intros. If I'm Toastmaster and it's a week before the meeting, I like to tell people, I like to remind people that they have a role a week before the meeting. So tomorrow night, the 18th, let's say I'm the Toastmaster on a week after the 18th, the 25th. When I got home after the 18th, I would log in and I would send out an email. I would click there. This is the email tool that comes up. I would send it to all club members. I can change the title, but it would be something along the lines of agenda for the next meeting, and I can enter any text I want. And what's going to happen is that the agenda, my text will be at the top of the email, and then under that will be the agenda. And it's a great way, and in it I'll remind people, look at the agenda. Anyway, I would remind people to look at the agenda. Hey, you may have a role. Speakers, if you haven't already done so, enter your speech.
Let me jump in here for just a second, because earlier we talked about cutting and pasting that one email address, but I could do it all from here. I don't have to go out into my own email system to do this.
You are correct. And what you're noticing is that Free Toast Host will usually give you more than one way to accomplish a task.
Okay.
So
this would be an easier way to do it. Go on.
Well, let me put it this way. If I'm logged in to Free Toast Host and I want to send the agenda, I
got it. Yeah.
This is an easy way to do it. I can click here and I can send it to all club members. Now, I could also go in and rather than all club members, I could go, I don't want to send it to all club members. I'm going to send it to all club officers. Now I can send an email just to the club officers.
All right.
Well, that's accomplishing the same thing. But if I'm logged in here and I want to send an email to all the club members to say, hey, I can't be Toastmaster, this is probably not the place to do it, because it's going to send the agenda showing me as Toastmaster. What I would do is I would remove myself from this agenda and I would go out and use my normal email, and I would just say, and I would use the Skwim members list.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And not only that, but in your regular email, you get everybody's replies. How would you get it? How would you get everybody's reply from this one?
Right. Well, and you can. I have sent out, let's say, an email to all club members, and then somebody else will reply, and that reply will go to all club members, and somebody else will reply, and that reply will go to all club members.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's I try to discourage that. What I will do is I will say, hey, I can't play this role. Is there somebody who can step in for me?
Right.
If you can, grab the role on the website and then inform the Toastmaster. Don't hit reply. Because the last thing you want is, all 24 members being involved in the discussion of who's going to be evaluator 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have covered I think we've covered just about everything I had hoped to cover and more. Any other questions? We are down to, I will answer your questions until you don't have any. Any questions you have? I mentioned going in here, the way to grab a role is to go into an agenda, see one that's empty, and say, I want to do that role. Of course, the other thing to do is discuss what roles you want to fill and when with your mentor, and call up the Vice President of Education. Have a conversation with the Vice President of Education, who is Karen. Wave hello, Karen.
Well, I can wave, but you're on speaker view, so nobody sees me.
Well, so the point I'm making is, I was in a club. A lot of people are very comfortable giving one speech every 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I have seen members who they wanted to speak as often as possible. In the old legacy system, you had 10 speeches in the Competent Communicator Manual. I know a guy who wanted to finish that manual in 6 months. He was driven. Well, he talked to the vice president of education, and they worked out a schedule, and he was speaking, I think, every 3 weeks, like clockwork. Boom, boom, boom. But you don't do that unless you've had that conversation with the vice president of education, because it's the vice president of education's job to make sure that the roles are being shared amongst the members. They're not going to let somebody hog the speaker roles or the Toastmaster roles or the evaluator roles. They're going to encourage you to play roles that you might shy away from, because it's another part of their job is to push you. So anyway, but if you have particular needs, I just had to give a eulogy for my dad last month.
Uh-oh.
I practiced the eulogy at our club meeting. I scheduled it. I knew it was coming up. I scheduled it with the VPE and the Toastmaster in advance. I said, I need 15 minutes, and they gave it to me. So talk to the VPE, talk to your club mentor. And unless somebody has a question, we'll call it a night.